Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Pana Gringo, the podcast for living in Panama. My name is Austin Hess, the host of the show, and also COO of Do Panama Real Estate and Relocation. And we just love helping people like you guys out there from all around the world discover this amazing little country and come here to move and just have a beautiful life. And obviously, we love introducing great people in the community. And one of the things that I love about Panama so much is that there's so many foreigners that come to Panama, not just to live, but to add in social initiatives and to get involved in the community to better the country. And so my first guest today, first we have two awesome guests, but my first guest today, she is an amazing human being. She's been a friend for a long time, but she's also an incredible entrepreneur, and she has a social initiative that she has put into place, and her name is Alexandra Cortez. Alexandra, thank you for coming to the show, and it's so good to see you.
Thank you, Austin, for the invitation. I'm really happy to be here and be part of all the things that are happening in Panama at the moment.
So this initiative that you have, the social initiative, is Barrio Vivo. What is Barrio Vivo? For all of our English speakers out there, what does that mean?
Well, Barrio Vivo is a social innovation project. I call it as an organization that will empower and build communities like the historic districts. We work through innovation, culture, and sports. We empower children and young people to create a different world in their communities, to feel more connected with the talent they have, and to feel that they're being seen in the prospect of art, music. And it's a project that we've been working for 9 years. We have a really good response from the community. We already have kids that had international art exhibition. We had kids playing music around the world. So it's a beautiful organization that works through culture.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And, I want to talk a lot about these activities that you do with the kids because what you've done and what I've seen on your social media is just so beautiful, and it's awesome, again, to see foreigners, because you're a foreigner and you're from Colombia. And I wanted to talk first, before we get into your initiative, I want to know a little bit about Alexandra. Why did you move to Panama? What brought you to this country and made you want to get involved socially?
Well, I was born in New York, but I grew up between Colombia and Miami. And my connection with Panama is just a passion. I never imagined myself living in Panama. I just came for vacation for 3 weeks. And then after a few months, I got invited to be part of a big project in the historic district. And I guess when I got there, it was just about connection. It was connection at the first minute. And I realized that the historic district has a lot to offer, but they also have a lot of challenges, especially Santa Ana, where is the community I work with. They are very big with identity, historic, and very charismatic people, but they didn't feel seen. So at the end, I made the decision I'm going to stay. This is not just a work. This is something I really need to be part of it and make a change. And I started working in Santa Ana. It's a community where a lot of historic events happen. I work with children from 3 years to 25 years. So my background is communications, is public relations, and I'm also a cultural manager agent. And I guess it's connection. I always tell everyone, when you see the faces of the kids when they create art and when they see they're being seen and they have safe spaces, that's when you decide this is what I want to continue to do. I always said that this is my emotional salary.
Well, that's beautiful because you have to have the balance, right?
Yes, of
I
course.
mean, we're seeing areas like Santa Ana, and maybe more people out there have heard of Casco Viejo. And Casco Viejo, I mean, it's a neighboring community. I mean, it's generally the same place.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different neighborhood, and we've seen it gentrify over the years. But keeping its culture, keeping its history and its identity as Casco Viejo. And now, as we see projects happening in Santa Ana, you know, I love that, again, creating that balance within the community and allowing for just that history and everything to stay there. Like if you go to Santa Ana on the weekend, I mean, you'll see soccer games. I mean, there's literally 80-year-olds out there playing soccer, and it's like they don't fight out in the streets. Their communities, their neighborhoods. It's all about the soccer field, and it's so beautiful, like to see like how involved the community is with each other.
Yeah, and you also see the transformation, and you see that in other countries there are projects that are very famous and they are very uh, big about culture. Like in Medellin, you see La Comuna 13. This is what we're trying to do with Santa Ana. We have a mural experience that you can walk through different murals, and we do this called La Consulta Ciudadana. We invite the neighborhood to tell us what they would like to see in these murals. So we put their identity in the murals. We already have 5 murals. We have support from the U.S. Embassy, from the Colombian Embassy, and what we want to build is this community that works through tourism. It's very important to mention that we also don't empower the kids, we empower the families, because we also have a program that we bring their mothers to to have experience in gastronomy. They are very good cooking their fish, their sow. So we're just impact the kid, we impact also the families. So we've been working in this project for 5 years, the murals. We just came back from Medellin. We have a meeting with the mayor of Medellin and his team, and we're doing beautiful things. We just got involved in Panama Art Pinta, which is going to be on March 21st, and we're going to be the first gallery, the open air gallery that is being included in the event. So there's a lot of things happen, and I feel very happy and very emotion, because my kids are seeing, they feel they're safe, and they already know there is the talent that can be put through this project.
And they can express it through what they're doing.
Yes, because the challenges that the community has, as you mentioned, Casco Antiguo is the historic district. Santa Ana is part of the historic district. It's San Felipe, Santa Ana, and Chorrillo. But what happened is the people always refer to San Felipe, to Casco, but there's also Chorrillo. There's a lot of things also happening in Chorrillo, and a lot of things are happening in Santa Ana. Santa Ana has more historic events than San Felipe.
That's amazing. Yeah, and it's so cool to watch. Again, I'm not as involved with you, obviously, but I do love this area. We do work. My company does work with projects in Santa Ana. You know, we see a lot of value in this area, not just for new investors coming in, but again, preserving the identity, keeping the culture, and having a beautiful mixture of the two, because it's important to have that balance when an area is getting gentrified.
Exactly. That's what we don't want in Santa Ana. We don't want that the same thing happens in San Felipe happens in Santa Ana. We want the identity and the neighbor to keep growing, but having them in the neighborhood. That's I think that's the difference. We just don't want them to leave because the community is growing. We want them to be part.
Of course, of course. And there's a great way to do that. And I love it. And I know there's probably a lot of people out there watching this. They're going to want to know more information, how they can get involved. And so what is the best way to reach out to you or find more information?
Sure, it's our Instagram account, Barrio Vivo PTY. You can be part of the project as a volunteer, as an investor. as we also would love people to come and see the faces of the kids and support our workshops. We love to have people that are open to bring workshops to our kids. So yeah, through our Instagram account, Barrio Vivo PTY.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming on and talking to us about this. I know, again, it's very passionate for you, but also for me. Like, I love seeing my friends like yourself doing such great things in the communities throughout the country. And thank you again for everything that you do and for everything you do for the kids. The kids are very important.
Thank you.
Now, guys, we have our second guest on the show today, and this is another amazing human being doing great things in Panama. Obviously, Do Panama is all about connecting foreigners with projects and houses for retirement, for investment, or just to relocate to a beautiful country to have a new lifestyle. And yes, there's a lot of people that just want their traditional apartment or their home, but there's also a lot of people that reach out to us and they are interested in getting involved in a farm community and generating maybe their own food for their families or neighbors, or even to generate income. So we have Thomas Patton, that is a regenerative farmer who has brought an incredible farm village concept to the market. Thomas, thank you so much for coming to the show today.
Thank you, Austin. Thank you for the invitation. It's an honor to be in Pana Gringos.
We love involving the community, and I want people to get to know not only the projects that are happening, but the people behind them, because obviously, it's one thing to have a farm village and to, you're making money off of it and you want to sell this property, but you have a passion for this. So I want to know more about you and what got you into this project in the first place.
Okay, the farm village is all about inviting neighbors because I am a farmer. I became a farmer straight out of the university. I did not study veterinarian. I did not study agricultural engineer. I studied economics, and I ended up in a pineapple operation. The farm also had a pig concentrated feeding facility. It had rice. It had cattle in a very technical manner. And after a few years there, I realized that we were going to lose the farm, like everybody around the world loses their farm. I understood that farming is like the only industry where each year your capital is worth less and less and less. So miraculously, and thank God, I bumped into agroecology. My hobby had always been fitness and CrossFit and paleo nutrition, so I was a little bit starting to be informed about the microbiome, and I started understanding how the microbiome and the soil health were similar, and I started looking at the farm through a different type of lens. I started understanding the things that the farm required, so I was able to restructure everything that we were doing, save a lot of money in the process, make it a lot healthier in the process, get rid of all chemicals, lower our inputs, our fuel to a bare minimum. And right now I can say we're happy and proud that we run a multi-species regenerative farm in Chepo, which is about 45 minutes past the airport towards Darien and Colombia. And
San Blas, which is one of my favorite places in the world.
And San Blas, which is
like the screensaver for all of our computers, just so anyone understands what this place is.
Exactly, and well, we're fortunate to be in Panama Este, which is new. San Blas is maybe our highlight that way, and there's a lot of bird watching going on in Darien. But we're happy that through our sister project from our farm village, which is called Kokira Soil, we are able to be an educational agritourism destination. We want to connect people with the source of their food. We want to help people understand that in order to reach like optimum health, you need to either know your farmer or with this project, become a farmer. So
that's funny you say that, because one of the first things that I noticed when I moved to Panama, I didn't just live in the city. I came to this country because a friend in Hawaii was like, I'm going to Panama to literally pan for gold in a river. And obviously we came and we figured out real quickly that it was actually illegal to keep the gold, and we did find it. So, we changed directions right away. But, being out in this area, out in the interior of the country, and, going to a fonda and having, a traditional Panamanian meal, chicken, rice, and beans, and realizing how much bone was in the chicken. And like, oh my gosh, like the chicken that I used to eat back in the United States, that was fake, like that was just filled with fillers and all kinds of things. Like, it's incredible, like, again, to understand where your food is coming from. And, that's one of the things that we see and we hear from a lot of our clients is that how healthy they get. And it's not just healthy with their physical, but their mind and their energy and their soul. Like, it's beautiful. And I think a big part of that is what we're putting in our bodies.
Yeah, well, Panama has a year-long weather that is conducive to growing food. So a bunch of the challenges that you would have in a colder climate, such as like the troughs where your horses drink water are frozen and ruined, There's a lot of things that we don't have here in the tropics. And the abundance of food, the abundance of water, precipitation. So these are all like extra perks that the tropics have. We have a farm-to-table restaurant at our agritourism, and while we have been serving organic 0-kilometer food, we have heard all these stories from people. Stories such as, when I retire, I want to have a farm. Someday when I can, I want to move to a farm. And we have understood that it's in our DNA. It's in humans' DNA to be near soil, to have a rhythm with the stations, and we understood that was a way to, like, success kind of includes like being at peace. And to be at peace, humans need far more than a metropolis and a fancy lifestyle in the city. So we are offering this type of lifestyle 45 minutes away from Panama City. And, people, post-pandemic, people are moving a little beyond the suburbs in the States. In the States or in Canada, people are wanting to raise their children near chickens and near a few sheep, just to have that connection. We're searching for connection, and we're searching for clean food and fresh air and clean water. And we always say at our agritourism destination that there's three things that you put in your body on a daily basis. The air you can't control too much because it depends on what's around you. The water, you kind of have to drink what's coming out of the tap. But what you put in your body, what you chew and swallow, you have that choice 3 times a day. Mm-hmm. It's a political decision every time you grab a fork and you put it into your mouth. So we wanna help people discover that we shouldn't be so automatic when it comes to feeding ourselves. We need to be a lot more conscious. It requires effort, yes, but you deserve it.
I love it. Well, and you have, again, so much passion in this. And that's what makes me so attractive to wanting to bring our clients to understand this farm village concept, is because, there are a lot of people that reach out to us and say, hey, we want to have a farm. It's like, well, what do you actually know about farming?
Yes.
Because, we all want to have a farm. I get it.
Yes.
We want to ride horses and, live this dream, right? Like this is the dream. But having that support, having that community,
yes,
with your neighbors growing a certain thing and you growing a certain thing, and having a commune where you can be trading foods or,
yes,
supplying the neighborhood and educating each other. Let's talk a little bit about how you get involved with the clients that are coming in,
yes,
buying a land and becoming part of your village.
But you said it. You said educating each other. These are private properties. This is within an HOA, of course, so people kind of respect the ideals why we came here to begin with, to this farm village. But they are private properties. However, the community aspect, we have set up a system where a community director will empower everyone to participate. Of course, if you want to live off grid and you want to use your finca number 57 and you want to stay off grid because that's your dream, you are totally free to do that. But the idea is to meet new friends, learn from each other, and to create a community that's talking about fertility, talking about water reuse.
Well, people that are interested in the same thing as you are.
Interested in the kind of thing. We have a farming concierge, which is what I was going to get to. The farming concierge is a way to lower the learning curve, ease the learning curve. We have been farmers for 20 years in our sister farm, which is 3 minutes away. And the idea is, if you need to put a fence, you call administration or you call concierge services, and somebody will bring the skid steer and they'll put up the fence for you, and they'll charge you what it is. But they don't leave you the guesswork of having to go to a new town to find out who does these kind of services. If you want a veterinarian because your horse is feeling bad, like, we have veterinarians on call. If you want to go back to your motherland, you know, to where you're from for a few months, you can have somebody come by your finca or your farm and kind of like follow up on things that you would like.
So you have a big support system in place.
We have a big support system. We know, we've heard not only the people who say, I want a finca, we've also heard stories about people who say, we inherited a finca and it was a pain. We bought a finca, or my dad purchased a finca and it was so far away, we didn't know the neighbors, you know, a bunch of things happened, and the experience was not as nourishing as we could have had it. So the idea is here to, like, you know, we have put together all these perspectives, and we have eased the learning curve a lot. So at least your dream is not like,
it's not so out there. You know, like, it's feasible.
Yeah.
It's feasible.
It's feasible. It's feasible.
Now, anyone out there, because there's so much information and there's so many details involved with this. It's not just, like I said in the beginning, here's this apartment. It costs $300,000.
Yeah.
Come talk to one of our agents. We'll get you all set up. Obviously, we have a couple agents actually within our company that love this idea. They're super interested in taking our clients out there. They love the idea when I talk to them about having you on the show today. So what's the best way to communicate with you and contact you for more information?
Okay, first step is go to legavera.com. We have an application, and just make sure to mention that you heard about the project here in Pana Gringos or in Do Panama YouTube channel, and Austin and his team will reach out to you. But yes, there's a lot of information because it's a community. You're just not buying an apartment to put it in the market, or you're not buying an apartment to fix it and flip it. This is a lifestyle.
Yes,
this is a lifestyle. This is a mindset. This is something you're thriving for. This is something you want to keep. Make your family be close to, whether you're living here full time or you're living in the city and kind of making your way there 2, 3, 4 times a week, however you want. The idea is it's for people who have noticed that something is missing. And let me tell you, I learned it myself. I wasn't born with this feeling, but people need land, and people need connection to your food, and people need you need to touch soil.
It's a solution that maybe people haven't realized they need in their life.
Yes.
So come and discover it. Come check it out for yourself. Thomas, thank you so much for all the great information you presented today. Remember, guys, if you want more details, reach out to my team, info@dopanama.com, or you can send me a WhatsApp message or give me a call or a text message at +507 6767-9710. And for anybody out there that just wants to discover Panama, but you have no idea where to start, you have no idea which part of the country is right for you, because there's so many different elements. You can live on a beach, you can live on an island, you obviously can live here in the city or out on a beautiful farm village. There's so many opportunities. There's a different flavor of ice cream for everyone, that we put out a Where Should I Live relocation survey. It's a 23-question survey. It's multiple choice. It's very easy. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes to complete. If you do that survey, you can find it right on our website, dopanama.com, and submit it. My team will get in touch with you with some general information and set up a 30-minute complimentary Zoom call with myself. And again, I'll be able to coach you and consult you and then get you connected to the right people, from our in-house brokers to our affiliate brokers, real estate and beyond. You know, we have a great team of legal services, pet relocation, doctors, builders, everything that you could imagine, depending on each individual client. We like to help from A to Z, and we want to be your boots on the ground. We want to be your friends here in Panama. So please, guys, remember, reach out. And again, a huge thank you to Alexandra and Thomas. These great projects that they're working on. Again, I just love seeing all the initiatives happening here in this country, and come be a part of it, because again, we're looking for outside the box thinkers to move to this country and to enjoy life here, because it is a beautiful country. And we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao.
Ciao.